Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we're back with the Fantua, Garba Shehu, Omoyele Sowore saga. This time Femi Falana chimes in. Guys, I bring you this. Late Fantua pressured me to ask Sowore to apologize to Buhari and renounce revolution now during a meeting with me in Lagos. A headline attributed to Femi Falana. So Femi Falana speaks on this matter, and just before we get into the story, by the way, what has Sowore apologizing to Buhari got to do with anything? Because if they are alleging that Sowore has broken the law, then this is not a matter for Buhari at all, because it doesn't concern Buhari. If a law has been infracted or been fractured by Sowore, then the law must take its course. But then of course Buhari is the alpha and omega of the Nigerian space. He is the law and order within Nigeria. So if a law is broken, then you go and beg Buhari, and then he will cancel the laws for you, because I don't really understand the logic of that apology. Again, the headline: Late Fantua pressured me to ask Sowore to apologize to Buhari and renounce revolution now during a meeting with me in Lagos. Femi Falana saying this. So now let's hear what the SAN has to say on this matter. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has attributed memory loss as the cause of the jejune narrative of President Buhari's spokesperson Garba Shehu about what truly happened at a meeting which held between the presidency and Omoyele Sowore during the activists' detention at the Department of State Services facilities. Late Fantua, a self-acclaimed member of Buhari's cabal, had led a delegation which included Garba Shehu, this day publisher Nduka Obiagbana, and his Vanguard newspaper colleague Sam Amuka to meet Omoyele Sowore on informed and broker peace between him and the government. Sowore recently recounted the role played by late Fantua in the meeting, which ended in a deadlock. Sowore said Fantua was arrogant in his submission when he said, "You can't defeat the government." Sowore said he retorted back at Fantua, "Well, you are about to find out that the people can defeat any government, no matter how powerful you guys think you are." Irked by Sowore's interview, Shehu, with a rather infantile statement, said the meeting ended well. Contrary to the posturing by Sowore, he said he was happy with the resolution proposed, but that his lawyer, whoever that was, needed to be on board. The fence mending process collapsed after the meeting of the trio with the lawyer in Lagos. However, in a statement on Thursday, Sowore's lawyer Falana said Shehu made deliberate attempts to distort history. Falana, who said he was part of many other patriots that clamored for Shehu's release in 2006, noted that the charge of treasonable felony against Sowore was bound to be quashed for no justifiable reason. Falana said, Mr. Garba Shehu has continued to give the highly erroneous impression that the deal struck with the captive was frustrated by his lawyer. Since Mr. Shehu's memory failed him in his jejune narrative, he said that the meeting ended well, and contrary to the posturing by Sowore, he said he was happy with a resolution proposed, but that his lawyer, whoever that was, needed to come on board. Mr. Shehu ought to have published the terms of the resolution, which he claimed that Sowore accepted, instead of blaming the collapse of the fence mending process on the intransigence of his lawyer, whoever that was. I confirmed that I held a meeting with the trio referred to by Mr. Shehu, even though he did not mention my name. Hence, I am compelled to react to a couple of issues raised in his incendiary account, more so that he did not attend the meeting in Lagos. For reasons best known to Mr. Shehu, he refused to inform the Nigerian people that I rejected the gratuitous request to prevail on Mr. Sowore to apologize to President Muhammadu Buhari and write an undertaking to desist from further embarrassing the federal government, apart from insisting that my client had committed no offense by exercising its freedom of expression over the perilous state of the nation. I expressed my personal agony over the request because I won the legal battle wherein the Court of Appeal had upheld the fundamental right of Nigerian people to protest against the government without police permit. Mr. Shehu ought to equally have disclosed that I demanded for the unconditional release of my client from the unlawful incarceration of the State Security Service. In fact, when the late Alhaji Issa Fantua said rather confidentially at the Lagos meeting that the regime in power could not be defeated, I was quick to remind him that the Nigerian people had defeated military dictators to pave way for the current civilian dispensation. In particular, I recall the case of Issa Fantua versus the president, wherein the plaintiff had challenged the obnoxious newspaper registration decree enacted by the Ibrahim Babangida junta in 1993. For goodness sake, is Mr. Shehu not aware of the fact that Mr. Sowore was charged with treasonable felony, money laundering, and insulting President Buhari for daring to call off the bluff of the federal government? It is interesting to note I had teamed up with other patriots in 2006 to campaign for the restoration of the liberty of Mr. Garba Shehu, who was then spokesman for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar when he was detained by State Security Service and charged before the Federal High Court with the offense of obtaining, reproducing, and keeping classified materials in contravention of the Official Secret Act. Happily, the charge filed against Mr. Shehu by the forces of incipient fascism in the country was withdrawn and struck out in his favor. In like manner, the charge of treasonable felony, which is hanging menacingly on the head of Mr. Sowore like a sword of Damocles, will also be struck out in his favor in the fullness of time. Sowore was arrested in the early hours of August the 3rd, 2019 by operatives of the Department of State Services for calling on Nigerians to take to the streets in peaceful demonstrations on August the 5th to demand a better country from the administration of President Buhari. He was kept in unlawful detention until December 24, when he was released on bail under stringent conditions. He remains confined to Abuja and forbidden from speaking with journalists as part of his bail conditions. So Falana speaks out, of course, and he details the lives of these people. Just look at that, because I'm always saying that the people that are surround the Nigerian state, the governance of Nigerian state, are the same set of people. So apparently, I wasn't even aware of this. This same Garba Shehu now, who's the spokesperson for Buhari, was the spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar in 2006, where he was detained then for publishing leaked information that got to him. But this same Femi Falana, who is now trying to rescue Sowore from the hands of Garba Shehu and his paymaster, was the same person that rescued this Garba Shehu from the draconian regime of the system of the day. So you see now, it's the most ludicrous of things that we contend with within the Nigerian space. And this Garba Shehu, by the way, he purports to be a journalist in some incarnation before he became the spokesperson of the Malami junta, the Buhari junta, but now you see it being fleshed out in front of you now. So they just make up all sorts of stories. So Sowore is saying that they came to him to come and try and jolly him along to play Oraisa to Buhari, but they are saying that they had a convivial meeting with Sowore, which was truncated by his lawyer. But then, of course, the last person that you want to be really throwing invectives at or saying things that are not true about is Femi Falana, because that guy is quick to the front of cameras and he has the language skills to vent a full rebuttal. So a full rebuttal now, Femi Falana, quite detailed, of course. He has charted the life of Fantua for us, and he has charted the life of this Garba Shehu character as well, and he has also now detailed his understanding, because of course, you know, you cannot really establish where the truth is, but the truth is in the mix of everything that is being said. What we do know for fact was that meetings took place between Fantua, Garba Shehu, some newspaper publishers, Omoyele Sowore, and his team, which was led, of course, by Femi Falana. But what actually transpired during that meeting is really a real mystery to the Nigerian people. So it's a matter of he said and she said and then he said. So he said and he has said. I am saying now, but what says you? Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all three, come into the comment section, then come tell me what you're making of this Sowore, Fantua, Garba Shehu, Falana saga. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say, peace.